Hey y'all, this is Miss M or Miryam Johnson, and today I want to share with you a process called dance memory. This is an activity that allows for you and another person to share movement together, to see and be seen by one another, and to really connect, which brings us to our theme of connection today. This particular activity is meant for high school age students and up. Mostly because of the kinds of conversations that arise after the activity. Most of the time they end up sharing about parts of ourselves, about memories and stories of ways that we move or how we were taught to move that come up just based on the way that we like to dance and we like to have fun. So just keeping that in mind, that this is really meant for an older demographic, but can be done by everyone. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find a partner, obviously. So this could look like a lot of things considering the time. It could be somebody who is in your home who you can share movement with, or it could be somebody who maybe you speak with on FaceTime or on Zoom or something like that. Somewhere where you can see their movement, somewhere where you can study their movement, and vice versa. If you don't have a partner, what you could do is find another living thing whose movement you can study. So this could be a pet. This could be that you go outside and you find a bird or a squirrel or something whose movement you could study. Or this could look like even watching the way that the trees are moving in the wind. Sorry, I just glanced at a tree. And observing the way that they move with the wind and in the wind. What you want to do is you want to make sure that no matter who you choose, that you understand your connection to them, whether they're somebody you're related to, whether they're a friend, whether it is just a pet or an animal that is outside that you noticed, or the tree that's in your backyard. Nonetheless, you two share a connection. And so you have to think about, and maybe even there's room to have a conversation about, why you two connected to begin with. All right? So this practice is actually really simple. All that you need to do is, if you're doing this with a partner, is choose who's going to be A and who is going to be B. Person A, you're going to be the mover first. Person B, you're going to be a witness in what is later referred to as the dance memory or the dance mirror. So person A, you get to choose your music, you get to choose the style of movement you want, and you dance with your song for however long in the way that feels most comfortable to you. Okay? You want to give them about long enough that they can capture you, they can capture your movement. Person B, you're the witness. So you are going to watch person A move. You're going to study the way that they're moving, and you're going to want to really look for things like, what movements do they come back to? How are they moving their bodies? Which parts of their bodies are moving the most, maybe? And what is the essence of their movement? What is the energy behind their movement? And think about all of those things, take those things in, because then when we pause, when person A is done, you're going to get up and be a reflection, be a memory, be a mirror of the movement that they just showed. I say memory because it doesn't have to be exactly the movement that they just did, but it has to be a memory of it, or it has to be the essence of the movement. It has to be a version of it that's comfortable for you in your body, right? But we do still want to capture, the movement, like essence of the movement that they just did. Once you've done all of those things, then you switch roles entirely. And so you try it all over again, only this time the second person, or person B, will become person A, and they get to dance, do their movement, do what feels comfortable to them. And person B, formerly person A, will capture their movement and then reflect it back, or be a memory of their movement back to them. right? So once you've gone back and forth a couple of times, then you can sit down and have a real conversation about what it felt like to try on someone else's movement. Maybe it got you a little bit out of your comfort zone, or maybe it was right in your comfort zone and you realize that they move just the way that you do, and that there's some familiarity there. Or maybe you could continue having a conversation about what it felt like to be seen and what it felt like to see someone else's movement. Because sometimes it's not just even in the practice of being the mover, sometimes the practice is in being the witness. Yeah? So that's the whole thing. You're just going back and forth, doing movement and sharing each other's movement. If you decided to go outside, if you're doing this alone, you don't necessarily have someone to have the conversation with, but you can observe someone's movement. You can observe the animal's movement or the tree's movement, capture it on your own body, see how it feels. And then if I was to make an offer, I would journal about it. Journal about what that felt like. Journal about what the connection is between you and your pet. Journal about what the connection is between you and this tree. This tree is giving you oxygen, right? There is a conversation here. There is a connection here that is deeper than we want to normally realize or than we usually do. So take a little time to honor that connection and write about it, journal about it. If you made a video that you're willing to share and that you've cleared with both parties, with whoever all was involved in your dance memory activity, make sure that they're okay with it. And if they are, hashtag Living Arts at Home so that we can see what you've done, see how you've created. Or if you decided to maybe journal about it because you were working alone and you wanted to share, you can take a picture of the part that you wanted to share and hashtag Living Arts at Home so that we can see what you wrote about and how you created.